So I'm kind of getting sick of the discourse surrounding this game. Genuinely, I'm getting annoyed by it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a YouTuber by the name of Endymion. Normally, I'm usually okay with his takes and whatever. Obviously, I'm allowed to disagree with people even if I like them. And his video today was surrounding this game in terms of what everybody's been saying is the lack of imagination and how the game is built to waste your time, because it's always coming back to there are 1,000 planets and there's nothing to do on them. It spawns in the same buildings, the same type of architecture, and pirates have taken over those buildings and there's stuff to collect, but that it's all minuscule crap. And it's just like, this is like literally the only argument anybody has. That's why it really bugs me, because there's nothing new. They're not the same enemy layout. Yeah, but it's just like there's nothing new that anybody's coming up with as an argument to why this game is bad. Is it bad in comparison to their previous games? Maybe. Maybe it's not their best work. But I don't agree with what people are saying. Yes, it's 300 years in the future. Would we have colonized this many planets? No. This is a game based in reality, or say grounded in reality. That's why there's no aliens for us to shoot. There are alien creatures, but there's no actual alien humanoids, because that's fantastical. Even in reality, those of us who believe that maybe there are aliens somewhere in this universe, they're probably not to this level. Hey, Jolan. Not to the level of intellect that we are. We don't know. We don't know if alien humanoids or just different versions of ourselves exist in this universe. It's all probability. It's all possibility, but it's not definitive. And so what Bethesda has done is they've taken what they've been able to do with their previous games and expanded the scope. Did they go a little too far? Maybe. I think they probably should have maybe narrowed that scope down to maybe 100 planets rather than 1,000. And then that might have actually helped them craft this universe a lot more, with a lot more focus. And, you know, maybe people would have taken a lot better to it. And then there was this like whole thing about, oh, why, you know, the lack of vehicles and so on and so forth. And these people, it genuinely sounds like that everybody seems to, it's a conspiracy. That's what I'm hearing all the time. This is a Bethesda game. There are bugs. It's nothing crazy impressive, nothing crazy bad. If you like Skyrim and Fallout 4 and want more of that, then it's exactly what you want. Boom. Thank you. In a nutshell, there you go. Perfect description. It's a Bethesda game. That's all you got to say. You know what to expect. And I think what it is, right, people were expecting it to be a space sim, you know, like Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky. It is not. They just put one of their games in space. That's all it is. And I think people, once again, because y'all know who these types of people are, they throw their expectations out there. They're sky high. They're rocketing to the moon with their expectations. And then when the game comes out and it's not what they expected, they're disappointed and they just start theorizing about why they did this. And the biggest thing in his video was that this is a huge waste of your time. They're purposely building this game to waste your time because they need to pad out the time that people spend in it on Game Pass, because they know a lot of people are going to be playing it through Game Pass. Which is absurd. Why in God's name would they purposely build a game to be boring, to have mundane quests and missions, because they want you to be bored or because they want to waste your time? That sounds insane to think that way. No, what it is that you expected something else. You were let down by your own expectations and you're blaming the company for your expectations. That's the problem. And to sound like this is some massive conspiracy to waste people's time is absurd. I think people need to get their brains checked because it's retarded. I don't know how else to put it. These thought process. And then he goes over, like, there was a journalist who had played the game, and I guess she had like a simple side. I don't know if this is a real side quest, but like I'm guessing it was, because it went into great detail to explain how this one NPC just wanted her to get them a cup of coffee. And it's like, okay, something simple enough, right? And so this person went walking around New Atlantis, I believe it was, looking for the commercial area to go buy a cup of coffee. And she's just like walking in circles because she doesn't know where she is. And the map isn't very helpful, which I agree. The map in this game is kind of shit. But at the same time, if you've played the game enough, okay, it is real. Okay, so Matthew confirmed it. I assume so because they went into very great detail to explain what they had done and what had happened. But they went walking around. They couldn't find this coffee place or whatever. And then they come back to where the quest was given, and lo and behold, the coffee shop is right across the street, apparently. And they were like, this is it, and that's how this whole thing of like this game was built to waste your time came about. And I'm like, shouldn't it be that maybe, just maybe, she should have a few brain cells in her head that actually learns the layout of the city? Because if you put enough time into the game and you spend time in New Atlantis, you would know the layout. Like, From Software titles, Dark Souls, I'm pretty sure they don't have maps. Not until Elden Ring. Not until Elden Ring did they come up with maps. And then, and that was the other thing too. They're like, there's no quest marker, there's no nothing. I'm like, you picked up a quest to get a cup of coffee. You mean to tell me that you didn't have a quest marker? I find that hard to believe. I really do. I find it hard to believe that even for the most mundane side quest, you don't have a quest marker. There's always a quest marker. Because these games hold your hand. But I bring up Dark Souls because I'm pretty sure up until Elden Ring, Dark Souls doesn't have maps. People just learned the levels. I've barely played Demon Souls, and I know the first level like the back of my hand. Why? Because I spent time there, I learned the layout, I know where everything is, relatively. But I know the pattern, I know the pathways, I know everything about that map because you spent time there. I find it hard to believe that always coming back to New Atlantis because Constellation's headquarters is there, you wouldn't know where to go. It's just insane. It's insane that people are thinking like this. I'm not going to apologize for the shortcomings of this game. Period. I don't think anybody should apologize for the shortcomings of the game, but people are actively trying to find reasons to not like video games these days. Why doesn't anybody want to have fun anymore? Why are they always trying to find reasons to not have fun? Just turn your brain off for a second and just play the game. You don't like it, turn it off. Nobody, literally nobody in their right mind gives a what you have to say. Nobody. Oh, this was built to waste your time. Fuck off, it was. Not even close. And they're starting to question the devs' mental capacity to they're like, I find it hard to believe that these developers are so incompetent that they would actually actively want to waste our time. Really? You think that some of the most intelligent people in the world who can build these things would want to waste your time by making a game that they know would waste your time? Fuck you. Now, I might be saying this because I'm a little biased. I love this game. I'm having a blast. Yes, it's a bit, you know, in some places. The ship combat, I think, is okay, but it's not supposed to be a sim. The story might be a little bit not the best story in the industry, you know, but how many times can you tell the same story, you know? I'm interested to see where this artifact thing goes. You know? The coffee quest is real. It's bright orange. Couldn't stand out any more than that, because the rest of the place is all white. Yeah, once the heat dies down, people equalize and view it as a goldmine of mods and funny videos on the internet, just like Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4. Exactly. That was exactly my thought earlier, Huffman. That's exactly my thought, and I'm sorry, I'll get back to the gameplay in a second. Stop it, Starfield. Knock it off. That was exactly my thought, is that eventually this is all just going to be a fart in the wind, as we like to say. Nobody's going to care, and before you know it, they're going to be amazing mods. They're going to add DLC to it to fill out those planets or whatever, maybe improve the ship combat, maybe mods will come to console, and then nobody's going to care. Did anybody care when Skyrim launched and it was a buggy mess? Yes. Did they get over it? Yes. Guess what? Skyrim still has bugs. Even in the special edition, it still has fucking bugs. Does anybody care? No. It's just people are constantly comparing game after game after game after game and saying, this is the bar, and it's hard to believe that they spent 8 years doing this to us and making a game to waste our time. They didn't spend 8 years to make a game to waste your time. You know, they rebuilt their engine. They worked on 1,000 planets, not literally, but it's all procedurally, but they still had to work on it to figure it out. They built this massive universe, and it's just like, people are so pissed off. For what? That you spent $70 on a game you thought was different? Give me a break, bro. These people need help. And then that jackass who beat the game, played 25 fucking hours of it, and then refunded it on Steam. And I actually found out how he did that. I didn't realize this, but if you are playing an early access game, like it's ahead of schedule, you're allowed to refund. There's no time limit on it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? This dude just literally ripped them off. And then he complained about it. It's like if I ate a whole steak dinner with all the fixings, potatoes and everything, and I called the waiter over and I said, you know what? That dinner sucked. Give me my money back, and then threw up on his shoes. That's what that is. This dude just wanted to play a free video game. Why don't you pirate it then, you f***? I'm sick of the discourse. I'm sick of it. I wish I didn't know any of this. I really do. I really wish that I just had my head buried in my games and enjoyed my time with them. And I do. I enjoy my time with them. And I don't let anybody else's bullshit, like, ruin my fun. But at the same time, I have got to say something, because this is absurd. The whole thing is fucking absurd. And people need to grow up. Grow up. It's a game that doesn't have microtransactions in it, and it's not a live service. Hallelujah. Can we please just give it that? If you're not going to be happy with it, at least give it that.